Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are tuning in from. You're most welcome to a random carnage at UK time, 1:15 a.m. with the man or boy to me, blue chip himself,
Boy wonder,
uh,
boy wonder. Yeah, what's
boy
happening?
wonder,
What a night!
boy
What a
wonder.
night! It's all popping off. So yeah, you wanted to do a show, and I said, yeah, I can quickly come on and let's talk about what's gone on this evening. Well,
Yeah,
throughout the day, isn't it?
well, yeah, exactly. As people come in, guys, mad love as always. Over 220 of you in here straight away. Let's get those likes up before we start discussing, because obviously everybody wants to know what the hell is going on. What the hell is going on? Of course, we need to give a shout out to new channel. Oh, it's my mate Jamie. Jamie, big up yourself. Very exciting news coming up very soon, but with regards to the channel and sponsorship. That's what I'm saying at the moment. But Jamie is now a YouTube member as well of the channel. Big up Jamie every time. The rest of you, hit that like button, man. Come on, let's get it going. 2:20 a.m. in South Africa. I'm desperate for news. Hit the likes. Hit the likes. Hit the likes then. Hits the likes, people. Avi on the phone to De Jong's agent. We will ask him. Avi's still on the phone.
Young
So,
Neves, you name it. Sander Berge, it's all kicking off on my phone, Grizz.
Did you actually say Sander Berge as well?
Sander
Is the
Berge.
is the intro? People are saying the intro is too loud. I need to cut that intro down then. Why is the intro? How do I lessen the volume? We'll get onto that. We'll go into that.
Well, the guy who just said that, he can just like mute the intro until we come on.
Exactly. Exciting team, exciting times. We'll discuss it. People, 300 of you in here now. You're very welcome to a mad post-midnight stream. Me and Avi were going to do this stream first and foremost with regards to looking forward to tomorrow's game, where we were nervous. We were concerned about the state of the squad in terms of the mental fragility it's showing, the physical health of some, the injury situation, and we just felt a lackluster type feeling throughout the squad. That's right, Avi. That's before we'll get into today's news.
Yeah, I think we had discussed that we would do a quick 30-40 minute chat and perhaps even contemplate whether we would do a watch along tomorrow. And all we wanted was we need a reaction from the team. I know you said you just care about the result, but I want to see more of a reaction tomorrow. The way we come out, the first 15-20 would be important, and that would give us a good barometer of how much. I don't want to say how much tank there is in the players, because we have touched upon the fatigue, the fitness, the energy levels. I know you have on other shows as well this week. But it's something that's still sort of worrying me. And tomorrow is going to be tomorrow we're going to find out. We're going to find out how much, if this team can be revitalized after Monday's defeat.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? We're actually looking at a game home to Bournemouth to see if we can revitalize our season almost. I know that sounds crazy in game week 3. No, game week 4.
Game week 4. Yeah, game week 4.
I know it sounds crazy in game week 4, but the game's the game.
If someone said to you, Grizz, that we'll be going to game week 4 still needing a win, what would you have said to that at the beginning of the season before the?
My God,
I don't know what, after the Community Shield as well.
If someone told me exactly after the Community Shield, the mood throughout the squad, the players, the fans, we were thinking we were pumped. You asked me, can we win the league this season? And of course, I always say yes, but I actually thought we're favourites.
You believed it this year? Yeah, you put us favourites this year.
And I said, I think we've got the mental edge. And then, lo and behold, Fulham happens, Palace happens, the red card happens, and then Man United effing happens, which was absolute mental madness. The final straw for me, to be honest with you, which made me nervous throughout the week. And then obviously we look at the squad and the injuries, and we start hearing murmurings of a couple of injuries that are possibly worse first feared, a couple coming back. We see Jurgen Klopp in the press conference, quite down after the game. And then today he does a press conference, Avi, which kind of blows everyone away kind of thing, because he suggests that he's done a U-turn and he suggests very importantly that he's done a U-turn. What did you make of it? What did you make of it? I'll try
it's
to get it up
it's
in a
not
minute.
hard.
Sorry, you
Yeah,
carry
yeah.
on.
He just basically it was like a rallying cry that look, maybe we've got this one wrong, and very rarely do we get it wrong in terms of timing, and whether we're a player short and whatnot in Klopp's tenure. I know last year we should have got a midfielder in, but look, we could have done the unprecedented quadruple, but we didn't. We were very very close, and this up until yesterday, it just seemed that Klopp, I know he said something towards the owners as well, like he has to be the right player, the price. But I think today he openly admitted it. Yeah, we have issues, especially in the middle of the park, and we have to do something, and we're constantly working. So it shows me that it's a rallying cry to the owners as well. The owners have got to listen up to that, and he would have. They've got to sit up and notice and say, okay, he needs help here, so we've got to back him.
Can you see that?
Yeah, you just got to scroll up a little bit though.
Okay, so we start from the top, and this is what he said this is the section of the press conference. People need to work out like how it works. So there's a press conference for the public that they're allowed to publish the news, the journalists, right? And then there's an embargoed section that is set for a time in every evening that they're only allowed to release the information then what was said after a certain part of the press conference. Yeah, do you follow me?
Yeah, of course.
So this is what he says in the morning before the embargo. He says Jurgen Klopp has not shut the door on the transfer before the end of the window, as calls for a midfielder continue, with the manager insisting Liverpool are still working. Now, we know, Avi, that recent times he said very unlikely. He just keeps saying very unlikely. What his stance was about a month ago was, I'm happy with my squad. I've got enough players as it is.
Well, he named every single player, didn't he? And he said, tell me where I need to improve. Tell
Well,
me,
not only
and
that,
they were fit back then as well. A month ago, everyone was fit. I think just before Ox pulls up against the friendly against Leipzig or
well,
Martin United.
this is what I wanted to say. This is what I wanted to say. So basically, he says about a month ago, I'm not going to pull that up, but we know what he says. He says, we've got enough players, but unless someone comes to my door and says he wants to leave or we have injuries, I think that's us done. I'm paraphrasing, but pretty much words to that effect. Well, today, obviously, he says something different. And obviously, with injuries piling up and results only compounding Liverpool's woes, the shouts for a new midfielder have only grown louder in recent weeks. And the manager's tune in relation to the transfer questions have changed. So basically, where is the need for a midfielder, as you said, alluded to? Yeah. And today he says, I don't know. You can imagine we are working constantly on these kind of things, Klopp told reporters on Friday. We spoke about reasons why sometimes it's not happening, sometimes too expensive, sometimes not the right player. But then situations change. But one thing stays important. It needs to be the right player. We are working, but we will see if something will happen. I don't know. And then he later goes on to say it has to be the right player. Having injuries doesn't change that, blah, 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 blah. Now, I'm going to ask you your opinion on that, and then I'll give my opinion on that.
When he says the right player, I honestly don't understand that bit, because there's been players, and I'm not going to mention now because it's getting boring now from my side, but there's been players that have been slipped through our hands during the course of the summer. So when Klopp says he has to be the right player, yes, Tchouaméni was a big target, and I think we were probably taken aback from his rejection. I think, Grizz, and I know we've mentioned this as well, that we think that this deal might have been as close as anything. Like we think it was probably like 85% done. Was that right, Grizz? The Tchouaméni deal up until the Champions League final.
He had been to Liverpool,
and I think we would have followed it through if Mbappe had got his move to Real Madrid.
I think 100% that would have happened. Yeah.
Yeah, and that scuppered everything. So Mbappe does a U-turn, signs for the Qatari government as well as PSG, and then they jump in for Tchouaméni, and they've partnered him with Camavinga for the future. I think we were taken aback by that rejection, and that might have knocked us for 6. But as Liverpool, as they've proven in the market, there's always a second and third option. But we changed tact and went for Darwin Núñez. And then fans were like, see, same old FSG, we've got to recoup now. Darwin was the Tchouaméni money, when it really wasn't, because we've seen some great threads, especially big shout out to Mo Chatra and some Swiss Ramble, where they have mentioned that Liverpool have got money to spend. We can compete with the big boys in the Premiership. Like we can go out and spend another 60, 70, 80 million, 100 million on a midfielder.
Yeah, look, people sort of obviously, I've put up a headline there and I'm going to reveal the player that I believe we spoke to this Monday. Spoke. And that's the rest is up to you lot to work out what I've said there and what it means. Um, there's nearly 450 of you in here and there's about
Can I
100
can I break
likes.
some breaking news before you actually mention that player? And
Go
this is
for
just
it.
legit news. So Boubacar Traore from Metz, who's a central midfielder, it's in the final stages of a deal with Wolves. Just a FYI.
Mhm. Again, exactly. That's suggests that a couple of the names that we're going to speak about are here. City Fisher says, "I'm here, midfielder. Let's go." People are, amazing. Sometimes it's got to have a couple, go through couple of super chats. Jesse Dyer says, "Hand on heart, who do you think you're getting, boys?" Hand on heart, and who think we're getting is a wild, wild guess at the moment. I know the names I've heard that we're interested in. Avi will give his take on it. I'm going to go through some of the names that I've heard. Obviously, there's going to be loads that I haven't heard, but I'll go through the names in a little while.
Just a big
Who would
shout out
you?
to Jesse, who's a United fan, by the way, and lives very close to me as well out in the States.
Oh, take him out for a drink on me. Make sure you pay.
I will do.
So JB says, "Who would you prefer to come in, Grizz?" I'll give my preference very soon as well. Long way to go, guys. Don't panic just yet. You never walk alone, says Nick. Absolutely. Absolutely. No panic, but there was a slight despondency throughout the camp. And I think it's fair to say it was justified, right, Avi? Because you're the most positive guy I know. And even you was a bit down.
I have been down. I have been down since the Fulham game. I have attacked, and you can say verbally attack the owners, which is
Frustration.
the
Yeah.
frustration, yeah, anger, and even at Klopp as well. Like there's anger on all parts. The whole structures. It's a bit wrong this summer. I know we were excited by Salah's contract, Nunes, the excitement over Carvalho, but we all knew that glaringly there was an issue in the middle of the park, and it seems as if the coaches have now woke up and said, yeah, you know what, we need to address this ASAP.
Amit says, appreciate the support. He goes, "Guys, what are your thoughts on the theory I've seen on Twitter that Klopp wouldn't go public unless a deal was in the pipeline or close?" Big up. What do you think about that? He wouldn't go public on something like that unless it was something was close or fairly conclusive or advanced conversations have been had.
Without speculating, I think he probably knows that something's very, very close, Chris.
Yeah,
And something is imminent. Maybe after the Bournemouth game or Monday or Tuesday, something could be imminent. Well, it has to be imminent because Thursday is 1st of September. So, yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. And so, therefore, what happened then was obviously everyone went mad and wild. Now sends in a super chat, but I think you forgot to add what you wanted to say. If you just say that as normally, and I'll still get to read it out now. Don't worry. So basically, he says that during the day, in the morning, and then obviously people start going wild and speculating. Oh my God, is it a what's the word? Is it a mistranslation of what he's saying? What's the context behind it? What he means and everything? And then everyone waits for the embargoed news at 10:30. But Dave Maddock breaks the embargo, I believe.
Good friend of yours, isn't he?
He's we follow each other on Twitter. That's all I'm going to say for now. But he breaks the embargo and shares this. Give me 1 second. I've got to stop. I've got to stop this. You know me and technology. I wish you could help me instead of just keep looking at your phone. Like, are you? If you're posting shit in a WhatsApp group, I will ban you from everything that I'm involved in.
Literally an agent of a footballer. There you go.
Okay,
I'm not saying
that's fine.
There you go. Yeah,
but that's fine because I'm going to zoom in and read, and you can go. You can go through what I'm talking about, right? Because I'm going to zoom in and read. Okay, so Dave Maddock goes before anyone else.
Transfer U-turn as Jurgen Klopp admits to midfield mistake. Jurgen Klopp made an astonishing revelation over Liverpool's summer transfer. You want me to read, right?
Well, go on. You've started, so you might as well finish.
Summer transfer business as he spoke on Friday, deciding his side are actively searching for a midfielder. By David Maddock, Northern Football correspondent at 10:30, 26th of August.
Okay, so this is the point I want to try to explain from my side and how I interpret it, because there's a lot of people saying, "Oh my God, what a wanker Klopp is," or "What a wanker the owner is," or both of them are in terms of they should have done this at the start of this window, or whatever. And I get that aspect. And so people are trying to give their own theories into why this has changed. Why are we doing in this last week? And I think this is very, very self-explanatory, Avi. I don't know what your thoughts are, but this is how I see it and how I read it. And I've been reading it like this for a little while now. Jurgen Klopp has performed a massive U-turn in the summer transfer window, but admitting Liverpool are now searching hard for a new midfielder. The Reds boss even joked. So he wasn't saying so. He's not. This is Jurgen Klopp we're talking about. He said it with a bit of tongue-in-cheek, a bit of jest behind him. You're all right and I was wrong. As he revealed that desperately wants some cover with 4 of his midfield stars sidelined through injury. What does that say, Avi?
Hello.
Yeah. Are you going to talk?
No, I'm hearing.
Because you're not concentrating on what I'm saying. That's why I asked you what I'm talking about. You know, like a teacher asks.
Because I had to star Niall O'Leary. He gave you a private chat, so I've started.
Okay, are you starring it?
Yeah, that's it. There you go.
Okay. So the key part of that is 4 key injuries to players in the midfield area.
Naby,
therefore, when he talks about at the start of the season, we had 8/9 options, right? And therefore, we all knew that the durability and reliability of these players were in question, right? So therefore, most Liverpool fans wanted a signing, but we could understand the club's stance to wait until January if they thought we can get up to Christmas with the 8/9 options if they remain fit, like they had last summer, correct?
Yeah.
On the back of last summer's summarization is all of them stayed fit. We nearly won it all. So therefore, you can understand their stance. Let's wait. If we can't get Tchouaméni, and if we can't get Plan B or C, or Plan B, let's wait until we can get Plan B, whoever that may be. He suddenly has injuries galore. He suddenly sees issues at the back. Just in case he has to play Fabinho at the back. I'm just saying, if Konate's injuries longer, just saying that's another midfielder that has to go out. So therefore, he feels the need to go back into the market. There's nothing wrong with that as far as I can see. It's an actually manager accepting, all right, we made a mistake, or we shouldn't have relied on the durability and reliability of some of these players. Let's go and grab a midfielder now. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, I see it, but Grizz, I also see the naivety and I think some fans are right. For years, we've trusted Milner and Henderson.
Big up, Tommy boy. Become a YouTube member. Big up yourself.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Tommy boy, yeah. Okay. And Hendo, Milner, years and mileage on them. Naby, Naby played 40 games last season, but he was still sort of getting these little niggling injuries, only for like a week or two. Thiago was getting injured. So I don't believe that, the 8/9 could have gone again. We should have, we should have invested in a midfielder. And Tchouaméni was that guy. Maybe we did ask about Bellingham this summer and we were rebuffed by Dortmund saying, listen, if you want him now, 150 million. And we've just walked away and said, okay, you know what? We'll visit again next summer. There should have been another, what do you call it? A plan in place for another midfielder to come in. Because Grizz, even if we do get one midfielder in, we're still probably too short next summer. We're still theoretically short next summer because there's question marks over Curtis Jones's form, whether he can step up. There will be question marks over Harvey Elliott. Henderson will be 33. Milner will be 37. Thiago's 32. So that's 5 players there that there's question marks over. I'm not saying all 5 of them will leave next summer. They may well stay again. But we need to get a midfielder in now because next summer, I think we're still looking at 2.
Yeah, look, absolutely. There was no way that it would be really possible to do 3 next summer, which we would have needed, right?
Yeah.
So we absolutely knew that we needed more than 1 done. And that's why we kind of struggled to accept. A lot of people struggle to accept the mindset of the thinking of Klopp and co. in saying that we'll wait, and if an opportunity comes, we thought go and grab that opportunity, make that opportunity. But we just know that they just don't work like that. And I think the mind change is not because of pressure from fans or do you know what I mean, social media pressure. It's literally he's seen a scenario very much like the centre-back scenario a couple of years ago.
I think the ball dropped when Naby got injured, Grizz.
Absolutely.
I think that's what's happened. And whether it's a 3-week thing, a 4-week thing, it could be just like a 2-week thing with Naby, or it could be a 2-month thing. I think he's realized that Naby's a player alongside with Thiago that he just can't rely on over a course of a 50-game season. If we progress in the Champions League and the league, that's 50 in itself. So I think the ball's dropped, and like they've got to go out and spend.
No, absolutely. Just going to read out a couple of super chats before we get into to more of it. Here we go. Just give me 1 second. I'll come back to the shared screen.
Make sure you put up Niall O'Leary's, yeah.
Dylan Fletcher, appreciate the support. He says, whoever the midfielder is, good chance they are signed by the Newcastle game. Is it Wednesday or Tuesday, the Newcastle game? It's Wednesday, I think. If it's Wednesday, there's a very good chance he's signed by then. Mohaz, who says, an Arsenal fan, amazing, love the support. Grizz Teta analysing the situation, big up yourself. Thank you very much. What did you start?
This was the one he paid, and then it was just.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
There you go. That's why when you told me off for no reason. I'll read this then, seeing as though I started. Niall O'Leary, thank you for the super chat. Technology not my strong point, but what type of midfielder do we need in your opinion?
Go for it. Give your opinion.
My opinion, it was Matheus Nunes. That was my first choice. And I think the early signs are that we've seen of him in the League Cup game as well on the weekday. He looks the part. He absolutely looks the part. And next summer it will be like a 70, 80 million then. But I think what I've heard is on the grapevine from a very close Wolves fan is Jorge Mendes has got a deal in place that if a club bids over 60 million, he will be able to leave, whether it's in England or abroad. That's Matheus Nunes. Right now, I would go for... Can I say it?
Go say who you would go for.
Absolutely love, if it was true, Frenkie de Jong. Frenkie de Jong would be my... But I'm not sure how we get around his determined... I know you.
That's all for now. That's all for now. We'll look into that. That's all for now. Why do you always do Tavla ones?
Sorry.
Yeah. That is my man, Isan. Nasser Isan finally caught me live on the stream. Grizz, you the man. No, Nas, you the man. You the man. People, go and check out Isan Films if you want any production done for filming, photography. Nasser Isan is the man. Isan Films. Nas, put up your website if you're here, man. If you're here, put up the website, man. Tell the people them. Was any more super chats that we need to... Oh, Jamie sends in a super chat. He says, what's the discourse on if there just wasn't quality available in this window? Otherwise, the move now seems reactionary, unusual for us. Jamie, I kind of just explained it, what I think. From my opinion, it's literally to do with the injuries and what I believe Naby's injury stroke situation to be more serious than is being let off. And so that's why it's prompted this change of, what would you say? Change of
tact.
Mind, change of tact, change of direction. Yeah. So then he goes on to say, that's the situation. There's nothing more to say about it. We are looking for it. And if it's the right player, we need him. And if it's not the right player, we don't need him. Anyway, then Dave goes on to say his personal opinion on the situation and tries to surmise what he thinks and believes. He says, Liverpool in long link with Jude Bellingham. Borussia Dortmund are adamant they will not sell their young midfielder this summer. I believe, from what I've been told, we made another approach and attempt to sign Jude Bellingham this summer. And we were told no chance. Therefore, we have allowed that situation for now. I believe Jude Bellingham will be a Liverpool player next summer, possibly even January. We will go again for him. But we will talk about that closer to the time. He then goes on to say, Avi, these got really exciting. This is where Twitter went wild.
Can I show you that?
There have been suggestions. Go on in.
Because you don't know how to pronounce some of the players. There've also been suggestions of interest in Brighton defensive midfielder Moises Caicedo and even Barca's former Manchester United target Frenkie de Jong. While Paris Saint-Germain Leandro Paredes is possibly considered too old at 28. Lyon's Hossam Aouar was once a hot candidate, but Klopp did insist that they will stick to one of his original stipulations that he won't buy just for the sake of it.
And I think, oh no, he goes on.
He added, I don't know if it will happen before Thursday. We will see. It needs to be the right player. We are working and we will see if something will happen or not. As you can imagine, we are actually working constantly on these kind of things. And there are reasons why it's sometimes not happening. Sometimes too expensive, sometimes not the right player, but the situation changes. One thing stays important, and that's it needs to be the right player. If we do something, it will be that we are 100% convinced about it. And if we are not convinced, then we don't do it. Klopp confirmed Curtis Jones will be back next week, while Diego Jota will also be back in contention early in September, along with the defender Joel Matip.
Absolutely. Neil H sends in a super chat. Says late night with Grizz and blue chip, loving it. What a mad combination, eh, guys? Blue chip and Grizz in the building. We'll be doing more content in the next few months, so stay tuned. Get used to his ugly mug and my handsome mug. The game's the game. It is what it is. He's promised me he's going to put more stuff in the background to make it look like a proper studio. He's put that. What is that again? Can you explain what that is in the background? Always, yeah. You've had that for. What is that?
That's the Premiership title, the Champions League, the World Club Championship, and the Super Cup against Chelsea. Those medals.
Can you? I'm going to send you some more banners and whatnot.
Please, yeah.
Jamie's in the chat. Jamie, can you send some banners to me, please? So I can send them over to USA and give to Avi some for in the background. Be amazing. So we go back to those names, Avi. We tried to make sense of those names. Where's those names? I'm beg your pardon.
Moises Caicedo. I can tell you them by. I know them off by heart, Grizz.
Okay, I know you do. Shall we start with Moises Caicedo?
Yeah, he's meant to be Brighton's replacement for Hughes Bissouma, and they're, it will take quite substantial amount of money, Brighton. But I think you said it this week that they're linked with a player who's actually from LA, Jose Esquintes or something, a midfielder that looks as if he's joining Brighton. So not sure where that is. But I think Caicedo, the little clips that I have seen him, I think he's only played like 14 times with Brighton, but the clips that I have seen him of, he looks a very tidy player. And I think that's why Brighton fans are not very worried, because they see a evolution. They know that, okay, Bissouma's gone, but they've got the next sort of conveyor belt coming through in Caicedo, and they've done smart business. I mean, you look all over that Brighton team, you know that they've got a direction, a purpose under Graham Potter, and the players that they are signing, it's all methodical and similar to us. They probably run off a metric system too.
So this is one of the key ones that we need to look at, because I genuinely believe there's genuine interest in this player. He fits the profile, he fits the age, Premier League experience. He joined them last season, and I remember you mentioning him actually last season. Didn't see much game time, did he, last season, Avi?
He was adapting to the league, Grizz.
The perfect way.
And that happened.
So he adapted. Yeah, but he adapted to the league. He was given plenty of game time, enough to adapt. So far, he's been the standout. It's almost like they haven't missed Bissouma. I am a huge fan of this guy, and I think his ceiling is very, very high. This is a huge call from me. He gives me N'Golo Kante vibes. The energy. He's an aggressive presser. He doesn't sit deep and press. So you have different types of pressers that play from deep positions. He presses the opposition defenders. He's one of those, like Kante. Kante hounds players. I think he's very efficient on the ball. He can get better. But Brighton have made huge sales. They don't need to sell. And this is the key.
I think they recouped about close to nearly 100 million on Cucurella and Yves Bissouma. And Mope's gone to Everton this evening, I think, for 20 or 25 million.
There you go.
Shocking transfer in my eyes, but
there you go. But Dean makes a very, very good point here. And this doesn't just apply for Caicedo. I think the eyes of every Liverpool fan will be on a lot of lineups tomorrow and squads to see if he starts or if he's in the squad, and obviously the other players that we're going to discuss. We've got a super chat from Neil that I'm going to get through as well. He goes, Paqueta will be a perfect Bobby replacement. I agree, but Paqueta is pretty much done to West Ham.
Do you rate Paqueta, do you? Lucas Paqueta? In a midfield 3?
No. Not in a midfield 3. If we played a 4-2-3-1, I don't rate him as an 8.
Yeah.
I rate him as a 10, and I rate him as a false 9. That's just my opinion. But obviously, people that know him better or watch him better may have a different opinion, which is fine. But he's pretty much done to West Ham. Yeah, he's pretty much done to West Ham. Shout out to Jamie Phillips in the chat as well. Hi guys, hope you're good. How about Caicedo? Well, we're literally just talking about this now, Jamie. Curtis to Brighton for a year loan has a sweetener.
Not for me, because I rate Curtis Jones, and I think this is supposed to be the season where we are.
Jamie, from what I've been told, Curtis Jones has been refused all loans, all sales from inquiries for him. We actually asked for one of Avi's favourite players, Jacob Ramsey from Aston Villa, and they told us 65 million plus Curtis Jones on loan. So we refused that straight out of hand. So Curtis Jones, Jurgen Klopp likes him a lot from what I understand. So that's a no-go. But we've just discussed Caicedo to Liverpool. I think he's 100% one of the guys that we've inquired and asked about. James, go on, Heavy, you help me here.
James Lamberschmidt. Thank you for the super chat.
Lamberschmidt.
Yeah, he's German.
No, not Smith.
It's Lamberschmidt.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's German.
Say it right.
Yeah. Well, Guten Tag to you, Lamberschmidt. We're actively trying to sign a midfielder now, but what would you say the odds are we sign one? Also, really wish we were more proactive than reactive. Yeah, that's a good point.
I agree. I agree with that. I think Avi did bottle the name Omar. Yeah, he did. He bottles it all the time.
It was shy.
I think it's very, very probable. I think we get one in probably before our next, not tomorrow's game, not today's game. Yeah, before our next game. We obviously do because the deadline closes Thursday. But I'm pretty adamant, like I have been saying on my socials, that we will bring in a player. Was there any more super chats I missed out?
Could we see anyone go out, Grizz? Maybe an Ox or a Naby, even though I know Ox is injured, but anyone come in for a loan for Ox?
Ox, no chance. The state of his injury, and who's going to take a punt when they can literally get him for free in a couple of months? Yeah. Well, you know what I mean. Start talking about him for free in a couple of months. Naby is the strange one because, as I told you as well about a week ago in private, that he refused to sign. That doesn't mean he's refused the deal. He's not going to sign, but he hadn't agreed it, which is worrying for you, or because I know you're a Naby.
I know. Yeah, you could call me a big Naby supporter, but Grizz, I'm a loyalist even, but I've washed my hands off him now. It gets tiresome after 4 or 5 years that you want him to start producing the goods and on a reliable level in terms of your injury and your form. It's just not going to happen, and we need to sort of cut our losses. Is there any point to sell him? I'm not sure who's ready to spend even 20-25 million on him.
No chance.
But let him run down his contract, and that's 55 million pounds gone down the drain. Unfortunately, it's not worked out for him or Klopp, and Klopp's a big fan of him, a massive fan of him.
Absolutely is. Naby Keita, Barcelona made an inquiry last season for him, and he would point back refuse. Around the time when they actually opted for Frank Kessie instead. I think they opted for Frank Kessie instead. They inquired about Naby Keita around that time. Klopp's a fan. He didn't want to entertain the conversation. I think, and again, we could be proved wrong. Naby Keita could become fit and have a prominent part to play in the season and sign that new contract. I think Klopp's had enough.
Dean Regan has just put a good point. I know you've got some super chats, but he just put a great point up. Could we see something like this? Him going back to Leipzig and Conrad Laimer coming the other way?
Wow, who asked you to mention the name already, Laimer? We're building up. I have a timeline to work through, but you do these ones, innit? This is what I love about you. No, this is what I hate about you, but I love about you as well. So it's like a love-hate relationship. Yeah. You're brilliant. But you wind me up sometimes. But this is what it is. I'm used to it now. Some people may not be used to it in the chat, but get used to it, Avi. He's back. Kishan says, hi from Malaysia, would prefer Amin Guri.
One of my cousins, I think. Amin Guri. He's a left-sided winger. We've got Luis Diaz there. It didn't work out for him last season for Nice in the 9 role. That's why Christophe Gaultier, who's now at PSG, put him back on the left. He needs a big season before he gets a move. He started off well last season in the French league, but he's gone off the tails. But yeah, one to look out for 100%. And I'm a big fan of Amin Guri.
Liam says, I'm very rude. I'm sorry, Avi.
It's all love. It's all love, boys. Don't worry.
He doesn't know.
He's worse on WhatsApp phone calls. Don't worry, guys.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know that, I'm old school generation where we could, tell off our little brothers. I know sensitive these days. You can't tell off anyone, you get offended. But I'm old school. I can tell off my little brother if I want to tell off my little brother. So shut up, Liam. How's that for rude? But listen, we keep it moving. Jamie says, chance of 2 in, 1 out this window for midfield. I'd be happy with 1. I definitely think we won. I myself not going to rule out 2. That's just me. I know you're going to say, what? Grizz, shut up. Can you please accept 1? Of course. I'm saying
Depends
one
on
is
the.
coming in.
For me, it would depend on who the first player is that comes in.
Mhm.
It could be an underwhelming signing. I know we're getting excited by all these names, but
Now
it
we'll go
could
through
be,
them.
God
We'll go through
forbid, if it
them.
is who I think it might. It could be. It could be. Look, it could be Sander Berge. Then it'll be very underwhelming. Then
Another name that you
predict
just
we'll get another one in.
Yeah, you just played another name that we're going to discuss, but this is amazing. Tony Montana says, Assalamu alaikum. Do you think we will actually sign a midfielder, or is it all just pony talk? No, Tony. I know that's not your real name. Or if it is, big up yourself, Tony. We will 95% bring in a central midfielder, I believe. 95%.
I'm clipping that for my channel now. 95%.
Okay, 90%. Okay, 90%. Timi Olatunde says, Cody Okone or Benacer, someone with legs, please. It would be
You're
very
a big fan
difficult.
of Ismail Benacer, aren't you? A big
It'll be
fan.
very no, but first and foremost, it'd be very difficult to get a player with no legs to actually play for Liverpool. He will have legs, but we joke, we jest, we know what he means. We need someone with energy, drive, reliability. Cody Okone is a different player from Benacer. Cody Okone is more box to box, more can play as the six. In fact, he probably suits more to what Paul Joyce referred to as the type of player we're looking for, which was someone who can play as a 6 and an 8. Cody Okone can. I don't think Benacer can play as a number 6.
But you're a big fan of Benacer, Grizz.
I know, but I can't. But I'm talking about in terms of profile of player that can play as a 6 and an 8. Avi Omar's in your DMs.
Yep, I'm his biggest fan. Grizz kind of blue chip TV. Appreciate you, young lad. A lot of love for him.
So I'm a massive fan of Benacer, but he's in for me, you're gonna hate the way I say this, but he stops the growth of Harvey Elliott as a player.
Is he more durable than Harvey at the moment? I know the different ages and whatnot.
No, yes, I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Would he suit? Is he a better fit in our 3 than Harvey Elliott is?
Yes, but Klopp doesn't see it like that, won't see it like that. As we've discussed to death, Klopp loves Elliott, coaching staff love Elliott. Elliott is going to be sort of groomed for that role, right? Good. But I know what you mean. I know what you're trying to get at. But you're saying that,
look,
you know me,
Chris. I don't think Harvey Elliott is a long-term midfield option for Liverpool. If
I wanted you to say it. I wanted you to
come out for me, fair enough. But yeah, I don't think Harvey Elliott. It'll be interesting to see where Harvey Elliott's career is 2 years' time.
Sam, who's a channel member, so always got to show respect to channel members. He says, Grizz heard we're in for Raul Morales. Breaking news, people.
Scored some wonders for us, by the way. Scored some absolute belters for us.
So yeah, look, we go on to the other names. We've spoken about Moises Caicedo. And then he says, even Barcelona's former Manchester United target, Frenkie de Jong. Now, this is the one that broke the internet. I can hear something in the background. There's an echo. Have you got something? Leandro Paredes, he says, has been linked. I haven't heard of anything on Leandro Paredes, but if Dave has heard something, then fair enough.
Paredes 3-4 years ago when he was at Zenit St. Petersburg should have come to England. I don't know what he's doing at PSG. A talented footballer, but he's so aggressive, and no one's ever curbed that in him. No, the right coach hasn't curbed that in him, but he is a great player. He is not a great player. He's a very good player, very good passer of the ball. Keeps it ticking along.
So look, this is the news. Basically, guys, stop this breaking news. Here we go. LFC Billy. Who the hell is LFC Billy?
Billy bullshit.
Yeah, stop this, guys. I can hear echo. Avi, can you do something about this echo? I can hear in the background.
It's not mine. I've just turned my AC off.
Hossam Chatila. Hope I haven't butchered your name too much. Hossam Chatila.
Yeah.
He says Agubu Kamara possible. I think, although it'd be someone to play with. Think, yep.
For anyone that hasn't seen Agubu Kamara, go and watch him on YouTube, and just put a name out here who you think he reminds you of. And he's Guinean too. If you see him, the clips I've seen on YouTube, he plays exactly like Naby Keita, Grizz. He even runs like Naby Keita. You know, like sometimes on like stencil, he plays like him.
Joseph says, how about Tune Cooper Miners at Atalanta to play 8? He just joined them last season. That would be a difficult deal to complete now, I guess, at Atlanta short notice. Maybe, you never know, but I haven't heard anything. I think he's a wonderful player, though. I think he's a wonderful player, though. So, yeah, Frankie de Jong. I believe we spoke to his reps this Monday. I did message you, but we both laughed it off at the time.
Yeah.
You went, shut up. And I went, yeah, look, this is what I've been told. And I'm telling you. And you went, oh, shut up. And I said, haha, as well. We both laughed it off. And we've got screenshots to prove it. We can actually have screenshots.
I'll post them on my channel, don't worry.
We can screenshots. And I said, shut up. And you said, yeah, shut up. We can't see it. Dave Maddock, amongst others, now have come out and said, we have an interest in Frenkie de Jong. This would be one hell of a coup. And B, one hell of a deal to complete in the time left. Thoughts?
First of all, he does need to move away from Barca, even with Xavi coming in. It didn't work out for him under Ronald Koeman. It's just a weird transfer because when he signed, you thought, yeah, you know what, this is the right club for Frenkie de Jong. But obviously, they've had issues behind the scenes, massive problems at Barca. Grizz, he is the epitome of a ball carrier, a box-to-box, an 8. It's a scary thought if somehow Klopp can get if he can get his arm around Frenkie de Jong and give him that nurture and love, this guy could be absolutely amazing for us. He'd be amazing for the Premiership. This guy could become the best midfielder in the world. I have no doubt about that. But he does desperately need a move. The United move, I don't think he ever wanted that. I don't, even with Ten Hag there, I know he's worked with him at Ajax. Chelsea were lurking around. I think Tuchel would be good for him. But if somehow there's a way where Barca can deter the payment that he's owed, and he's willing to play for Liverpool and, accept maybe less money. But with Virgil there, he would be a brilliant signing. He, for me, would be the dream signing alongside a Fabinho and a Thiago. Oh, that would be like tantalizing, Grizz.
So he's your number one preference, right? Of all the names linked and everything, you've made that very clear.
He wasn't even in my sort of stratosphere or in my spectrum when you posted that message on Monday to me, and I was like, shut the F up, respectfully. But if there is any ounce or chance,
I laughed back at you.
And if there is any ounce and chance of FDJ, then oh my God, like, get it done. Him in that midfield, he brings that energy already, Grizz. He brings that energy. He brings leadership skills because he has got that captaincy spirit in him. He will have Virgil. He'll have all the right components to succeed at our football club.
People saying get Virgil on the phone because obviously with their
I'm sure he's done that already.
If there's any chance of a deal with Frenkie de Jong, I believe he would be our number one choice, because when you're talking about right player, when you're talking about age, when you're talking about profile, and this is the key part, Avi, or people in the chat, because Avi obviously is speaking to his agent right now.
I'm listening.
No, it's cool. I'm not going to ask you anything for the next 5 minutes because you haven't listened to the last 30 seconds. But people, there's 700 of you in here. Can you hit a like? And we'd be absolutely thrilled with that. Hit a like for me and we go on. So do that right now. Smash the like button. It's just there. It takes 30 seconds. No, it takes 2 seconds. Frenkie de Jong, if there's a deal to be made with Frenkie de Jong, I'd absolutely be over the moon. And it makes sense in so many ways. Hear me out, Avi. If he has given up on Naby Keita, and if we are fed up with Thiago's injuries, when I mean fed up with Thiago's injury, I mean we accept Thiago for what he is. 15 to 20 games a season, magnificent when he plays, unreliable in terms of. We haven't got anyone else who has got the passing range, in my opinion, of a Thiago, the vision of a Thiago. Frenkie de Jong has that for me. We wouldn't miss Thiago if we had a player like Frenkie de Jong as well. What do you think? I rave about his passing, his short passes.
I'm willing to even drive Thiago back to Barca if it meant bringing Frenkie de Jong in, Grizz. I honestly, like, this player needs a move away. And honestly, Jurgen Klopp right now is the perfect manager for Frenkie de Jong. He's 24. He's got that. He needs to elevate now. And unfortunately, at Barca, it's not worked out for him one way or another. Xavi doesn't seem to. I think Xavi might fancy him, but he can't because of the financial constraints. But Frankie de Jong is that player that he's ready. He's ready to be elevated. A bit like Luis Diaz, a bit like players who have joined Liverpool at that 23, 24 year age, and they've just blown up once Klopp's got his, once they're under Klopp's tutelage. And he's another player. Like he's an absolute baller, Grizz. That's the going word these days, isn't it? A baller. He is everything. And you know what? I could see like a future captain in him too.
He's a leader. He's been harshly treated. We know at Barca. We know the situation, though. Avi, can you give us some insight into the situation in terms of the wages and what's the hold up between Barca and him? Because that's the sticking point, isn't it?
In a nutshell, he's owed 17 million in payments from Barcelona. Now they've tried to negotiate throughout the summer. United have come in for him. I actually don't believe he fancies Man United. It would have been a forced move, but hey, that's how Manchester United conduct their business. And I don't believe he wanted to leave. He has started for Barcelona as well in the league, and I'm not sure if he was in the Man City friendly as well yesterday or the day before on Wednesday. But if he gets paid from Barca, or they come to some kind of agreement where they say, look, we'll part ways and give you 12 million, then you could think that, I don't know what his wages on right now. He's on, people say 300k a week, 400k a week. I'm not sure what it is, but you wouldn't believe Liverpool paying that. Liverpool have a payment structure, but I think he would jump at the chance of coming to Liverpool.
I agree, but I think it's a very, very awkward and complicated deal to complete in time.
But hey, we do complications. We do complicate deals, right? We get involved with third-party agents from South America, or like in England. I mean, Fabinho had how many agents when we got that deal done? Luis Diaz had second-party agents back home in Colombia. So we don't do things the easy way, and it's just be another in line. I mean, the Salah deal, contract renewal, that was going on and on and on until you broke the internet literally, Grizz, and said he's definitely signing, and he did the day after. So yeah, this would be nothing new to us when it comes to like negotiating a deal with Barcelona and these reps.
Jesse is a massive fan of Frenkie de Jong, obviously. He says, Godspeed on the 50J speculation. It's ridiculous how badly I want to see him in the Prem. United have failed. Chelsea have failed. Good luck. He's right. I mean, it's a very complicated deal. But as you say, we specialize in making complicated deals work our way in our favor. We have this uncanny knack of, as you said,
Van Dijk deal. We made that complicated for ourselves. That was because of us that we sort of like wrecked that Van Dijk deal in 2017, but we got it over the line in January, of that same. Yeah.
James Lamberschmidt says Frenkie de Jong standout first choice. I think pretty much to a man he'd be a standout first choice. Moises Caicedo, Kode Koine, Youri Tielemans, second choices, Conrad Laimer third, and Jude Bellingham next summer. Quite the list there. I guess we'll speak about some of those players on those names then. So Youri Tielemans has been linked. I believe the Youri Tielemans link is more from the agent pushing him and offering him to us. I don't think we're as interested as him, and his agent are very interested in us. They most certainly want to leave Leicester City. Absolutely. They almost certainly know they've got Leicester over a barrel because he's free in a couple of months. You know what I mean? When I mean couple of months, you know what I mean? Like start talking for free. I think this is more agent talk offering us to us. I believe he has been offered to us. I believe we haven't shown any interest as of yet. I may be wrong. We may go back in for him. I think we've passed on Youri Tielemans. What do you make of the Youri Tielemans as a player? Whatnot?
We've talked about this in length, Grizz. He's played 452 games by the age of 25. That's an awful lot of game time. That's an awful lot of mileage on those legs. He's a classy player, but there's a reason why big clubs are not going in for him. He could play for a Manchester United. He could play for an Arsenal. He probably could play for a Chelsea. He could play for Liverpool, but I always worry about that engine of his. After 55, 60, he pretty much blows out of his ass. And I think he's one of those players that have been subbed a record number of times for
Oh
Leicester.
wow.
I think there's something there. I'll try to find his stat, but he comes off more times than not. Good player, but I'm not sure. But people are saying that he's available as much as 15 million, and his wage demands are not even that much. So it makes you think why we are not in that conversation for him.
I think so. I think it's one of those situations where it's quite obvious people are in for him. Sorry, it's quite obvious he's for sale. But it's obviously something somewhere stopping the big clubs going for him. And I think you've pretty much nailed it in terms of what it is that's stopping people from going for him, obviously. Yeah, Jamie says, agrees with you kind of thing. I'm not a fan of Tielemans, can't get around the pitch. He's technically a very good player. He scores from outside the box, which me and you have cried for people to shoot. Like literally none of our players shoot. I don't think even any of them are really good at shots. Henderson is probably the best. Even though Naby Keita scored some bangers, he just...
Oh, Fabinho hits the odd one every 6 months. But yeah.
But another name that I wanted to bring up, and where is it gone here, Abby? I'm so sorry. Give me 2 seconds.
Apologies.
No, wrong screen. While I find it, here we go.
You can just
smash a like, people, while I find the screen.
Let me smash a like too.
Can you smash a like as well, please? Please.
Yeah, I'm doing it now.
Thank you very much. Chap called Grizz Khan. What was it gone? Chap called Grizz Khan suggests Klopp needs to get on the Zoom to Conrad Laimer and do his magic. Conrad Laimer, Leipzig, Austrian. I called him, maybe unfair on him, maybe unfair on the players that I've called him. I called him a hybrid of a young, before people start going absolute wild, a young Henderson and Milner. In terms of box to box, can play down that right wing, technically very efficient. Because people forget, Jordan Henderson and James Milner were very efficient. Obviously now they're 30 plus. They've pretty much seen better days. I think this guy would be the perfect Jurgen Klopp player. I believe we have made an inquiry for him this week as well. He's one of the guys that we made an inquiry for. I believe this guy we would be able to purchase in the region of £25 million, which is our going rate, isn't it? Sometimes when we look for little bargains. The sticking point, from what I understand, is he wants to go to Bayern next season for free. Bayern have told him to sit tight and will come for you next season for free. But Leipzig don't like selling to Bayern, right?
Yeah. Although it has happened.
Yeah.
I think everyone thought it was a stick on that Conrad Laimer would be joining Bayern Munich, and he reminds me a bit of I think that's a good shout. Henderson, Milner, a bit of Leon Goretzka in him before Goretzka joined Bayern before Schalke. He can score goals. I think his ability should enable him to score more than he actually does. Good player, Grizz, good in the tackle, good passer of the ball, progressive. He can play different roles in a midfield three. He would be a good signing, but I'm not sure. I think the fella wants to stay in Germany. So whether he forces that move to Bayern, I'm not sure. But if he's open to a move, then you'd think, why wouldn't he want to come to a club like Liverpool? And why, with the structure that we've got, with the Germans that we have, and the German that we do have in charge, you would imagine that he would jump in with a chance with us.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think this is the ideal play for us right now, apart from Frenkie de Jong. Sorry, but I think he's more. I think he's more of a Klopp player than Frenkie de Jong. Would you agree with that?
No, it's difficult. I agree that Conrad Laimer, but I also think Frenkie de Jong is a player that Klopp would love. I don't think there's much. It's not a player that I think. Oh, if Klopp had a choice of the two, I don't know what he would do. Because I think Frenkie de Jong he's a player. If he's available, you go for him. You go for him ahead of Laimer. In my eyes, he's highly rated. For me, I rate him higher than Conrad Laimer.
As I said, the deal for Frenkie de Jong even though the link is very true from what I believe as well, and obviously it's been come out today over the Twitter, over journalists, not only from Dave Maddock, but from a Times reporter as well. People, let us know the name of
It wasn't
the
Joyce, was it?
journalist.
It was someone else.
Nick Tanner or Richard Tanner, someone. It wasn't Joyce, no.
I think it was Richard Tanner, I think.
Richard Tanner's people will let us know in the chat who it was. Smash the like, folks. Smash the likes. Over 650 of you in here. Smash the likes. The name that has emerged in the last hour or so. Oh, there's the name. Rob Tanner. Rob Tanner from the Times has also said, you know, 1K likes is doable, man. Smash it. Smash the likes. Ruben Neves of Wolves. We were linked with him a couple of seasons ago.
We were linked with him when he was 19 at Porto.
Yeah. Predominantly a number 6. Very much in the Xabi Alonso mold of number 6.
That's one of your. That's a great shout, by the way.
In terms of more technical than mobile.
Yeah, his mobility comes into question. Grizz,
in terms of one of the cleanest technicians you'll see.
He can strike a ball, all right.
He can strike a ball, but it's not about striking a ball, Avi. His one of his main skills is striking a ball from different angles.
Yeah. Well, that season he had in the championship, bloody hell, the goals that he scored, I think he scored like 11 goals that season. Belters, absolute belters all over.
So, look, this is a good friend of ours. He won't mind us using his tweet. And he speaks at Moby. Shout out to Moby. He says, on Ruben Neves, the cons and pros, as you said. So the cons are Bruno Lage wants to keep him, and that's pretty obvious. But with the signing of Matheus Nunes for them, and as today overnight, breaking news, they've signed another midfielder. Another midfielder on the verge of Traore. Let's not forget they've also got Moutinho, who plays in the same area, and Dodonka. So there's a lot of midfielders there. Now, Ruben Neves is a name that I haven't heard myself, but I can see it making sense. So I haven't heard Ruben Neves myself, but I can see it making sense. So let's go through the cons. Working on new contract offer. Fee may be high. Wolves sold Gibbs White for 45 million. Jorge Mendes. And then he talks about the pros of this deal, possible deal. May be open to bigger club. UCL. Reunited with Pep and Vitor Matos. Wolves signed Nunes and Traore. What do you think about Ruben Neves? Does it excite you?
He's a good footballer, Grizz. A very good footballer. Very good pass of the ball. Keeps things ticking along. Like you said, very, very Xabi Alonso-esque, but it would be different to what we're used to because we're all about aggression, pressing, energy, mobility, durability over a course of 90 minutes. I'm not sure where he fits unless we're going with a double pivot, a 4-2-3-1. Which we could possibly see. I'm not sure if Klopp and the coaches are going to experiment. I don't know. Great pass of the ball. Would it help Nunes in terms of, putting the ball up to him and winning headers and laying it off for Salah or Diaz? I'm not sure. If they think he's the man, then you've got to obviously support it. He's a great player. He's 24? He's still 24. It seems as if he's been around.
This is it. He seems like he's played so much football again. One of those ones.
I'm going to quickly pull up a stat if I can, Grizz. I don't want to show you that I'm distracted. I just want to see how many games he's actually has played. I think he had a.
Just ask the chat. Just ask the chat. They'll find out for you in 2 seconds, man.
On Wikipedia, how many games he has played throughout his career?
Career games for Ruben Neves, please, if you don't mind, chat. That would be amazing.
309. Which isn't too bad for a 24.
I don't know how that works out. Is that good?
That's good. Yeah, he's averaging around 40 games a season, which is fine.
It's a lot.
It's fine. 40 games. It's a full season. I mean, Wolves don't really go far in cup competitions, so he plays majority of the 38 games. He scores goals, and then he can hit them. And he's a set piece taker too, Grizz. Penalties, free kicks. It's just about that mobility. I think a lot will mention it, and it's not. It's
I'm in agreement with
quite
you.
obvious. It's just the mobility.
I'm in agreement with you because you know how much have lambasted Fabinho for his movement, playing in that number 6 on his own with 2 attacking number 8s now. I've gone angry. I've got really angry this season with
Could you play in the
Fabinho.
pivot? Could you play with a stick 2 and then
But this is my point. This is my point. See, something tells me that in a number 6, he'd be, I suppose, against lesser opposition, he'd be the ideal number 6. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like someone who parks the bus, he'd be much better 6 than Fabinho for me and Henderson, because he's technically way better than both of them. But in a big game against a team that will be energetic and mobile around him and harass him and pressurize him, I don't think you could play that sole number 6. But again, as you said, brilliant set piece taker, scores a lot of goals. Someone said up there he scores 4 to 6 goals every season. Bangers, guaranteed bangers. But if we change the system, he'd be ideal in a pivot, Avi.
How much are we looking at, Grizz?
How much would
60?
you?
I don't know. He's a kind
I
of.
think 60 is too much for him. I think 60 is too much for him.
Well, they've sold Gibbs White for 45. Surely he doesn't get sold under that. Surely he doesn't get sold for less than 45 million. That makes me think, okay, put another 10, maybe 55. Not sure. I think Jorge Mendes is his agent. I think 50, 55. I think everyone's right. 30, 40 million for me is his benchmark. But when they've sold Gibbs White to Nottingham Forest for 45,
yeah,
they wouldn't. Gibbs White? No,
there's a different price for
English tax.
No, there's a different price, there's a different price for what buying clubs would see him as. Like, he's right. People are right. 40 to 50 million is worth.
Someone decide how many years he's got on his contract as well. Dean Regan, always good for facts. Can
2 years, apparently they said.
2 years. So that's 18 months, maybe 40. I don't know. I'm stuck at what price we would pay for him.
Just a very quick one from Neil. Do you rate James Ward-Prowse?
I'll take this 100%. People laugh all the time at James Ward-Prowse. You put him in a Liverpool team, he would fucking flourish. Again, he plays a lot of football, but set pieces, again, moves the ball around constantly. Got good vision, anticipation. James Ward-Prowse would be a perfect fit. James Ward-Prowse should have been a Liverpool player when we got rid of when Genie left us, instead of getting rid of him. When he left us, James Ward-Prowse should have been a high priority in our midfield. He stays fit as well.
Fahad says if he had pace and mobility, he'd easily be 60 million plus, in my opinion. Sure. Absolutely. For what we're getting physically wise, from 40 million is fair. But this is what I was trying to say. For what we want or what we think a price or value of a player is totally different to what the club thinks it's worth to them. So Wolves will think he's worth 60 million plus to them, I think. What do you reckon? That's how much they would ask. And I think that would hurt me.
And this goes back to Grizz. Why didn't we pull the plug? Or why wasn't there a concrete interest or a bid for Matheus Nunes?
No, there was I know there was concrete interest in Matheus.
Like, when I'm hearing these names like Neves, right? Neves signs for 55 when we could have got a more combative player in Nunes for 45 or 40 million. I just don't understand the approach. I don't understand what our management are thinking or exploring when they just let a player like that go to Wolves. Or maybe it was set in stone that Jorge Mendes said, look, go do a year in Wolves and I'll get you your big move the summer after. And it could be that a good deal sort of, behind the scenes is already done with Man City for next year. Who knows? Because we know Pep's a massive fan of this.
Kishan says, will this stop us from buying Jude next summer? Simple answer from me, absolutely not. I'm pretty much unsure on Neves.
Yes or no? Would you take him?
Have you right now? Right now, I take him right now, but this is it, innit? Like,
is that is that out of desperation that we're saying, you know what, we need to get a body?
I'm saying out of desperation because I'm panicking about us. Are complementary of midfielders right now, but the club won't make a panicky type decision. They're going to look long term and they'll have analyzed him from every point of view.
If we're paying 50 million for Neves, or rather Arshad has just put it, I'd rather have that money spent on Caicedo. 100%. Fits
I
us
agree.
fits us like a glove, to be honest.
I agree. I agree. And I think that will be a figure that Brighton would definitely work with. Can people in the chat find out how much Brighton bought him for?
I think it was peanuts. Grizz. I think it was what,
Caicedo.
7 million? 7 million.
And also, what's his
I
first
could be
name?
wrong. Moises.
Moises Caicedo is on 3K a week, people, as well.
Fucking hell. I'm earning more than him a week.
Oh, calm down, man.
Bloody hell.
Do you know what I mean?
Sorry. Shouldn't
So,
reveal my pay.
but we know you are. But yeah, I would go for Caicedo, absolutely. Vex Blaze says the issue is we just can't go out and buy a midfielder to be the next Taki or Shaqiri who Klopp doesn't trust and is stuck in our books. Yep, very good point. We should be looking for a long-term solution, not short-term position. I agree with him. I don't want to buy a player that Klopp's not going to trust, Avi, and then we're going to bit. And bit means. Can you explain what bit means in?
Bit means just like, like complain.
Yeah, bit means people.
Begrudgingly.
No, bit means show animation and frustration. That why isn't Jurgen Klopp playing him? Why isn't Jurgen Klopp playing him? Because it will be clear
but the players that we've looked at, the players that we've just spoken about, Frenkie de Jong, Conrad Laimer, Caicedo, Paredes not so much, who are, forget him. Those three players, Bellingham maybe next year.
Oh wow, he was
Those
4
three-
million.
4 million. But those three players we mentioned are long-term solutions to Klopp's system. You can't tell me that they're not.
It's
Edson Alvarez of Ajax. Oh, another one that you said that we looked at. Oh, just had a keen interest on.
Yeah, but we didn't pursue. But let's see if that comes out. I know we had an interest in Edson Alvarez of Ajax, who's a pure DM, like nothing else. He's a pure DM. So I don't know if we're going down that route. Just a pure DM. What do you think?
No, we need more than a DM. I mean, if Fab needs a break, we can put Hendo in there alongside a Thiago and another midfielder. And we need a 6 and an 8. But again, it's very few and far between. I've grown onto Lima because of you, because you said, look, just watch this player, and I've watched him a few times now. He has grown on me, but I don't know, I'm still devastated that we didn't get Nunes. But Conrad Lima, look, Frenkie de Jong's there, and he's willing to take a pay cut, and he can sort his payment structure out with Barca. Fuck, man, you got to go in for him. I know Nicola Barella. I like Nicolas Barella. I do, but I'm just always been skeptical about Italians. Maybe I'm still scarred from Aquilani.
People, 315 likes compared to how many people are watching us right now is pretty ratio. It's just over 50%, just under 50%. The chances of Liverpool signing a player, I've said tonight, are 90%. And you guys are giving me 50% ratio on likes. Come on, man. Do the honourable thing. Frenkie de Jong, it seems, is man. Frenkie de Jong, I like Lima, man. I think Lima fits the profile in terms of low wages, low fee. The best years ahead of him is 25. No complications in the deal. He's into his last year. You either take 25 million or you let him go for free next season. And you sell him abroad. It doesn't affect your... The only thing would be to convince him to join Jurgen. How do you say his name?
Jurgen.
Yeah, Jurgen.
Jurgen.
The only decision he would have to make would be to join Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool over Bayern. From what I know and understand, that's the only sticking point.
Would this guy have been a shout, Grizz? Rodrigo de Paul?
Not being a fan of his. I know you loved him and you waxed lyrical. Not a fan. And so far been proven right. He hasn't climbed any trees. He hasn't climbed any trees with Atletico. So I wouldn't go for him. I wouldn't rule this out.
Milinkovic too, Grizz. Milinkovic, Lazio. Has that time passed? Because he's been in and around again, United, but he's what, 28 now, is he?
Is he 28?
Milinkovic Savic, yeah.
If he's 28,
he hasn't had that move yet.
If he's 28, people forget that. Absolutely forget that. We won't go for a 20-year-old Savic, in my opinion.
This one?
Mr. Sinclair says, what's the chance of Sander Berge? I wouldn't rule it out. This is my point. This is my point. This is my point. I wouldn't rule out two. This is why I'm saying two. Because Berge would be peanuts. Berge would be just a squad filler. Berge, I don't hate on Berge like majority of you others.
Oh, Grizz, don't do it.
I'm saying, I'm giving my opinion. I don't hate on him like you do. Or for example, you go mad when I mention Berge.
He's played in the championship last season and no one came in for him, Grizz.
No problem. That's fine. I don't hate on him. I'm saying.
No, I'm not hating on him, but
no, but you are.
You would be content if he came to Liverpool Football Club.
What's content? What's Liverpool Club? I just told you if he was part of two, if he was the only player, I wouldn't be happy, of course.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, Yari does, isn't it?
No, not Yari. You either have enough belief in him that he's okay as coming as a one, but coming as a two, that doesn't make sense at all.
Okay, so let me explain again very slowly.
No, he's a fucking horrible player. He looks ugly.
Oh, so there you go. So there's your hate. There's your hate. You come out with it. Sorry. You come out with it. No, it's fine. It's not my chacha. Chacha means uncle, people. It's not my chacha. So, do you know what I mean? If you like him, you like him. Big up yourself as well, King's Football Show. Look, he'd be good value depth signing. He'd be more reliable than Ox. He'd be more reliable than Naby Keita at this stage. He'd be more reliable than Milner at this stage, or useful. That's three players I've mentioned that he'd be more reliable and ready and able.
I'd rather we play Stefan Bajicic in front of Berge.
That's your opinion.
I am not having him in place of talent that can come through and we can give them a chance. He would offer us nothing. He's dog shit. He's
okay. That's no problem. That's fine. That's your opinion. I'm not here to argue with your opinion. People, you've heard him say he's dog shit. He said no hate at the start, but now slowly I wheeled him in.
That's a joke. That's a joke. No, Berge.
I will him. No problem. Can people tell us how old Milinkovic-Savic is?
He's 28. 27, 28. Arthur Melo. Okay, no, little Tim's message. Hasn't he retired, Arthur Melo? Oh, he means Arta. Okay, the one at Barca, Juventus. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But look, people, if there's any other names that you guys have heard, that's the names that I've spoken about and the ones that have been on Twitter today, giving our thing. Just to quickly wrap it all up. I believe we've spoken to Frenkie de Jong's people this week. We have an absolute firm interest in Conrad Laimer. Ruben Neves seems to be the talk of Twitter. I haven't personally heard anything on Ruben Neves, apart from interest in the past. Yes. Lucas Susic. I nearly forgot. Lucas Susic. Oh, yeah. Forgive me, innit? It's nearly 2 a.m. here. Oh, it's past 2 a.m. 2:30. So forgive me if I don't pronounce it right. But Lucas Susic is definitely a player we have interest in. Definitely. We actually considering trying to bring that deal. We don't consider him ready to come to the Premier League, especially in our team right now. But we have explored the option of trying to bring that deal early. But I think he'll be a backup option if we can't get one of the preferred options, which we've discussed. In my opinion, is Frenkie de Jong and Caicedo.
Another shout. Celtics Liam Riley, 21 years old. I've heard nothing about this guy.
Nothing about this guy.
Conroy, where's Conroy? He's awake. Oh, wait, Conroy, give us an update on what's his name? Liam O'Reilly or Liam Riley.
Grizz, how about the Scottish lad? That's what they're talking from United. He'd be great for you. Oh, McTominay he's talking about.
What was that, man?
Please mind your language, please.
Sorry, Grizz.
Absolutely disgusting language. This is the link. Any word on the random link to Celtics, Matt O'Reilly, ESPN? Could be meaningless.
No.
Anybody know anything on this? Sorry, I'm not going to pretend that.
I don't know. I've never even seen him play, to be honest.
Yeah.
And if I haven't seen him play, then yeah, let's put him away.
Where's this question? There we go. What about Yeremy Pina? Any news on that, Grizz? He was offered to us. From his agent.
You liked him since 2020, by the way.
Okay. I know.
Yeremy Pino, not Pina.
Okay. I heard we was offered to us. We didn't take up the offer.
Where is my little Omar? Junior. Where's Junior? Paula Arda Güler, 17 years old, Fenerbahce. Absolute brilliant, but too young. Way too young.
Some
chance for Marcus Llorente.
I'm not believing it one bit. You don't have to, my friend. You don't have to believe it. But we are interested in him.
Look at this.
Um,
Is this guy just saying it just to troll me, Florian Neuhaus? Like, come on.
No,
I
not
had a
everyone
mail
knows.
last summer. I had a mail last summer. I've apologized many times. I will never be definitive ever again over a transfer.
But why? But
the ship
why?
has
But
fully sailed. Hey, my time. The ship has sailed on Florian Neuhaus.
you think we wouldn't go back in for him?
He hasn't pulled up any trumps. This guy, I'll definitely take this guy, Grizz. Thank you, Husam Chatla, for the super chat. Someone from Portugal again, Pedro Gonçalves. 100% I will take him. Brilliant. Brilliant player.
Absolutely wouldn't take him. Not that he's not a good player. He's just not what we need right now. But Avi's a massive fan. Massive fan.
I'm a big fan of Portuguese footballers. Technicians, as Klopp says.
Good player.
Mudryk.
Wow.
Is that how you say it? Mudryk from Shakhtar? I haven't seen him, to be honest. A lot of people on Twitter though have picked this player up from Donetsk. So
he's very much linked to Arsenal. So I don't know, but yeah. Benny's coming with some breaking news. Liverpool agree fee with Ruben Neves. There you go, people.
I would have got a text message if that was done. It's not done yet.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
got my phone on standby. No, I've got my phone on standby, Grizz. I'll tell you.
I'm being sarcastic, innit?
Oh, sorry.
My God, what are you?
Okay, you know what? Here's a shout. Thank you very much, Spartan. Appreciate the love. ZZ Flash 70, take Harry. I'll take this guy over Sander Berge. That's all I'm saying. And I don't even think he's very, very good, but I'll take him.
I rate Harry Winks. Breaking news. Honestly, I don't think he's crap.
No, I don't think he's crap either. But
yeah.
I'll take him.
But I think you're just saying it because Sander Berge. You hate Sander Berge. They're not our level. They're not our quality. They're not going to elevate us to the next level. I have not once said that either of those players take us to the next level or are on our level. Good Fabian Ruiz is on the verge of joining PSG. I would take him.
Lucas Sucic, mirror him, and you'll get Fabian Ruiz. Fabian Ruiz should have left Napoli time back, but I don't know. Again, another transfer that hasn't happened for him. A bit like Milinkovic at Lazio. But Fabian Ruiz is a very good footballer. Very good footballer.
I love Fabian Ruiz. I'm not going to lie, but I think he's pretty much nailed on for PSG.
I've got to go play tennis now.
I've got to go and sleep now. People, this has been a promptu stream. We had to discuss Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp wants a midfielder. We are on the hunt for a midfielder. We can breathe a sigh of relief that we are actually going to try to address. In fact, we will address the central midfield area. Much needed reinforcement is on his way. I have spoken about the people that I've heard we're interested in. I've also spoken about, Twitter has spoken about, go on, what? Why are you interrupting my
Luis Alba has been the top performing midfielders in the last 3 years for Lazio and in Europe. His assists and goals. We let him go. I don't know why. But yeah, I did see his goal, Dean Regan. Beautiful finish. Top corner. And they beat Inter Milan, by the way, today. Yeah,
fair enough.
That's all from me. Are we doing a watch long tomorrow? Quick, are we doing a watch long tomorrow?
Can you shut your mouth for 30 seconds and let me end the stream? Right. Big up Grizz and Avi. Smash the like button, folks. Exactly. Omar says, good night, my dear best friends. People, we've gone through some of the links. We've discussed the pros and cons, the strengths, the weaknesses. We've given you our opinion. I've given you my thoughts on the players that I think we've spoken to and are interested in. There will be names over the next 24 hours that come out that I haven't heard. So good luck. It is what it is. But what we do know is we're definitely in for a central midfielder and we should be getting one. Apart from that, Avi, big game tomorrow. I know we didn't even get a chance to speak on it, but first and foremost, let's get a win on the table tomorrow and then we take it from there. Calma, people. Win is coming. Midfielder is coming. This has been Grizz and Avi. We out of here.